All right, let's get into it. Most people think of tarot cards and immediately think fortune telling. But what if their real magic isn't about predicting the future, but about telling a story? And not just any story. We're talking about the oldest one in the book, the journey we're all on. So today, we're going to look at the 22 major Arcana cards as a map of human growth from wide-eyed innocence all the way to real wisdom.
Just think about it for a second. What if every big decision, every tough challenge, and every amazing victory in your life could be laid out on a set of cards? What if the story you're living right this very moment actually follows a timeless, ancient pattern? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into.
Okay, so before we can meet the hero of our story, we need to understand the world they're walking into. We're about to follow a classic narrative called The Fool's Journey. But first, let's get the basic rules of the road down.
So the major arcana, it's not just a random jumble of pictures. No way. It's a sequence, a story. Think of it like a symbolic roadmap for life that takes us from card 0, that's pure, untapped potential, all the way to card 21, which is all about wisdom and completion. Each card is what we call an archetype, basically a huge, universal life lesson that every single one of us has to face at some point. And here's the key thing to remember. Every step on this journey has two sides, kind of like a light side and a shadow side. When a card shows up upright, it means we're really getting the lesson. We're in the flow. But when it's reversed, it's a heads up. It's pointing to a challenge, some kind of blockage, or something we really need to work through. It's the potential versus the pitfall.
You know how every great story has a beginning, a middle, and an end? Well, our journey has 3 big acts. Act 1 is all about the outside world, learning how to make our way. Act 2, that's when we turn inward and face ourselves. And Act 3, that's when we have to confront the biggest forces in the universe. So that's our roadmap. Let's get started.
And here we go. Meet our main character, the Fool. Card number 0 because they represent pure, unlimited potential. This is you, this is me, anytime we start something new. A job, a relationship, you name it. Upright, the Fool is all about that joyful, fearless leap of faith. But reversed? Oh yeah, that's all the stuff that holds us back. Fear, self-doubt, and that nagging feeling that we just don't know what we're doing.
And the Fool takes the leap. Welcome to Act 1. This is where our hero moves out of that space of pure potential and starts to actually interact with the world. It's all about figuring things out, gathering some tools, meeting important people, and learning the rules of the game.
So the first thing the Fool realizes is, hey, I have power. The magician is that moment we discover our own talents, our own skills, and realize we can actually make things happen. It's that feeling of, I got this. But there's a catch, right? The reversed meaning is a warning. That power can go straight to your head and become all about ego if you're not careful.
After finding personal power, the Fool bumps up against worldly power. The Emperor is all about structure, rules, authority. This is about building a solid foundation, a steady career, stable relationships, a sense of order in your life. The real challenge here is learning to be a leader without being a dictator, to create structures that help you grow instead of trapping you.
Now this is the Fool's first big win. The Chariot is about taking everything you've learned, your skills, the structures you've built, and using pure willpower to charge ahead. We're talking ambition, drive, and sweet, sweet success. But look at that reverse meaning. If you lose focus, if you lose that control, the whole thing can just spin out and crash.
So the Fool's done pretty well, right? Got some success, built a life, but then comes this feeling that something's missing. That all this external stuff just isn't enough. And that's our cue for Act 2. The journey is about to take a hard turn inward, into the much trickier territory of the soul.
To even begin this inner journey, the Fool has to do something that seems crazy. Just step away from everything. The Hermit is about taking a time out. It's about deliberately choosing solitude, shutting out all the noise so you can finally hear your own inner voice and find your own wisdom. The risk, of course, is getting totally lost in that isolation, losing your spark completely. Okay, so after looking inside, the Fool has this huge epiphany. I'm not actually in control of everything. The Wheel of Fortune is all about the ups and downs of life, destiny, luck, things that are totally out of our hands. The lesson here is learning to spot when fate is giving you a golden opportunity and having the guts to jump on it when the wheel turns your way. This right here, this quote
perfectly sums up the vibe of this whole second act. It's about trust. It's about surrender. It's about understanding that sometimes not moving forward is exactly what you need to be doing. You have to believe that even the tough moments, the pauses, are getting you where you need to go.
All right, our fool has found some inner wisdom. They've learned to trust the universe. But oh, the journey is not over. Not by a long shot. Welcome to Act 3, where the fool has to face the biggest, darkest, scariest challenges of all. The tests we all have to pass if we want to become whole. This is the final boss level.
The first monster the fool has to face is their own shadow. The Devil card represents all the chains that hold us down, our addictions, our bad habits, our unhealthy attachments. But what's so interesting here is the reversal. Upright, you're stuck in it. Reversed? It means you're fighting back. It means you finally want to be free. And that desire, that's the first step.
And this is the big secret of the Devil card. The chains look real, but they're not. They're an illusion we put on ourselves. This insight is so powerful. It's telling our fool, and it's telling us, that the power to get free has been inside you this entire time. The prison isn't real.
So what happens when you decide to break free? Well, the fake life you built has to come crashing down. The Tower is probably the most feared card in the whole deck, and for good reason. It's the lightning strike, the sudden upheaval, the job you lose, the relationship that ends, the crisis that just blows your world apart. It's terrifying, yes, but it's also clearing away the rubble so you can build something real.
And that's the whole point. We have to reframe this chaos. The Tower isn't a punishment, it's a breakthrough. It's the universe stepping in to demolish a foundation that was keeping you small, that was holding you back. It violently shoves you onto a new path, the one you were supposed to be on all along.
And breathe. The storm is over. The dust has settled. Our fool has stared down their deepest fears, watched their world fall apart, and survived. Now they enter the final beautiful phase of the journey. Renewal, hope, and a sense of coming home to who they were truly meant to be.
After the absolute chaos of the Tower comes the quiet, gentle peace of the Star. This is that beautiful moment after a crisis, when you can finally see the sky again. It's the calm after the storm, a time of healing, hope, and inspiration. It's the universe putting a comforting hand on your shoulder and saying, "You made it."
And here we are, the finish line. The World card means the journey is complete. The fool isn't a fool anymore. They're a whole, integrated person who has experienced the full spectrum of life. It's a moment of pure triumph, success, and wholeness. The cycle is finished. And now, they're ready to start a brand new journey from a much higher place.
So, we've walked with our hero from that first innocent step off a cliff all the way to cosmic understanding. But really, this story was never just about a character on a card. It's a mirror. So now the question comes back to you. When you look at this incredible path, the ambition, the self-doubt, the crisis, the healing, where do you see yourself right now? The journey, after all, never really ends. It just begins again.